Hey everybody, it's Ilya Phoenix Yoga and I'm back with another Motivational Tuesday. So I have the Especialito here and I'm going to read to you in Spanish and translate. These are all really good. I always look at them like, ooh, this is good, ooh. But I always have to choose just one. So here we go. Envejecemos no cuando se nos arruga la piel, sino cuando se arrugan nuestros sueños y la esperanza. Vive hoy con más brillo y energía. It kind of hits me. I mean, they all do. Everything that I read and make a video of, it's obviously, I always say this time and again that I can relate to it, but some of them kind of hit me more than others, like where I have to compose myself and not bawl because it's just like, oh man. All right, so translated, it is, we get old not because of the wrinkles in our skin, but when our dreams and hope wrinkles. Live today with more energy and light. So, that is... So, even when I was younger, it's funny, I always thought about the age thing. I always took inventory of my life towards my birthday and, every once in a while towards a different time of the year. I always did that. I always took inventory. So, okay, where am I right now? Am I a success? What am I doing with my life? And seeing what I wanted to do, depending on where I was at. I've had some good jobs. I've had some not so good jobs. But I always was looking for something else. I was at a point where I was happy in a few jobs that I had. But it didn't work out for a lot of different reasons. One was in news. That was hard because it was news. So I realized I couldn't stay there because I was just really internalizing everything I was reading. I just couldn't. It was a weird time in my life where I just couldn't get over some of the things that I had to read, for the news. Like, the job is basically looking at every news story and seeing what we can put on the air or interview, reading it so you can interview somebody, stuff like that behind the scenes. And I just couldn't grasp how people could, there was so much evil in the world. I couldn't grasp that, so I left because of that reason, because it was an amazing job. And I landed another job, which I loved, I really did love, and that didn't work out because there was no opportunities for me. So I wanted to move on. That's where I found cooking, the pastry world, and we already know what happened there. But it's always been, okay, where am I right now? I'm getting older, and I started to, being a woman, that has always also played a role. Not as much, but it did then, because I had people pointing it out, the age thing, where are you in your life? You're not married, you don't have kids. It was a lot of things coming from not even family, really, but coming from different sources. And it's just, I've always stood my ground in respect to that. But you can stand your ground, and sometimes it's still in there. It's still in there, and it's still in here. And you're just like, okay, well, I'm not getting any younger. I still have a certain stance about a lot of things. Doesn't mean I'm going to change, but what else am I doing? You start to look at the other parts of your life. Okay, where's my career? And then when things start not working out, or you try and you have to move on for whatever reason, then you start to feel like, okay, I don't see any hope. And there are times where you're going to be in a situation, whether it's a job or relationship or something, where you start to feel like your light is going out. Like, you really do. And then slowly but surely, the things that you loved, you don't love anymore. Now, it can be just you're just not into it anymore, or it could be that you're falling into a depression, which I did. And I've spoken about it. I'm not ashamed about it. It's something that I guess I did have a tendency to be a little lean towards depression, not willingly. It was just something that first it ended up being a vitamin deficiency, then ended up being just and it wasn't severe. What I've had in the past few years has been the most severe I've ever had it. Darkness I never knew, which I have mentioned. But I couldn't be the light. I couldn't live with that kind of light or energy, because I had lost hope. I had lost hope. And I started to see that, obviously I have health issues, IBS, gastritis, things that you cannot eat anymore. And with IBS, you don't absorb the nutrients the way normal people do. So, if you are able to eat a few things here and there, you're not really going to absorb what you need. So I've noticed with the deterioration of my health, I would have to say due to IBS, I noticed the loss of collagen, the stress, loss of hair. So then I started to see that, and the sadness really came through in my face, and I saw it. I don't think others may have seen it. Last year, nobody saw it because I was home, and as everybody was. But I did see it. Even in some pictures, I could see it. The only time I saw the light in my eyes was when I looked at pictures of Comic-Con during the most darkest moments of my life. It was just pure joy in there. And looking back, it's amazing that I was that happy. And I in those moments, at least, I had that hope because I wasn't thinking about anything. But I did lose the hope, and I did see it in my face. And it is true. It is true. You do get older. I mean, this is not saying that you literally look like crap and that your everything is withering away. I'm just saying it from experience that I lost the hope. I lost the hope. That was where everything in my life started to wrinkle. Just everything. And I saw it in my face. Maybe not age-wise as much, but you could just see the light. The light was just gone. And it really is like the Dementors. When I saw Harry Potter and I saw the Dementors, that's, to me, was like, wow, that's what depression does. It just sucks your soul right out. That's it. That's it. So finding that passion again is what, brightens you up, and makes you feel like, oh, this is great, And it's hard to live with that kind of energy, and it's hard to live sometimes being that bright light in your own life when you have so much going on. So that's why I'm doing these kinds of videos, to see if, okay, you know what? Sometimes when you talk the talk, right? Sometimes even if you're not feeling it at the moment, something in there, when you keep doing it, starts to change a little bit, And I have been taking a more active role in trying to get better. I have had so many moments where I take a ton of steps back, but it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, to get over the depression, to start to feel better and be able to breathe, So there's a lot of steps that you can take. Therapy, meditation, yoga, make your own videos, make your own inspirational videos, or read the inspirational quotes. Pinterest has like some areas where you can, if you just type in the keyword, you'll find motivational quotes in there, and start to look at those. You make it a habit, maybe every morning look at one, or start printing them out. There's apps too where you can get a quote sent over to you, or you can just, open the app and there's a quote right there. So there's a lot of things that can be done. Going out there, getting some exercise, getting some sun. It's not as easy now, but there's little things that you can do that may help at least a little bit. It's not easy. It's definitely not. You want to be the ray of light in your own life. You want to be the hero of your own story, and you want to live with the kind of energy that others may have, that you may once have had, or that you just yearn to have. But with little steps, it can be done. But living with that kind of light and that kind of energy definitely does take a little bit more from you. Dig really, really deep so that you can get to that point where you can just wake up and you just got that energy, because you're just like, okay, you got that energy, you wake up and you're just like, all right, I'm just going to make this day the best that I can. And if it goes to shit, it goes to shit. If I'm trying and I'm doing something and I'm getting better, so can you. So I hope this Motivational Tuesday resonated with you. I hope that you were able to get something out of it. And I will see you next week for another Motivational Tuesday.